Hi everyone, I'm Sam and today I'm going to show you how I'd paint a Blood Angel Space Marine to a high tabletop standard. I'm going to focus on bold colours, painting skin, and a really fun way to apply blood splatter. With that said, let's get into the painting. I'm going to be starting with a pre-shade using P3 Morrow White over a black prime, and while I usually find this paint fine in the airbrush, I was having some trouble when I filmed this. I'm just going to highlight it from above and slightly to the right as we look at it. This is going to give us some great directional lighting. This stage is incredibly important when painting red as it brightens whatever we'll be painting over top to give us great contrast between our highlights and our shadows. I'm also making sure to give the weapons a coat as I'll be painting these yellow later on and I don't want to be building up yellow from black. For the highlights I'll be using AK Carmine. This is a bright, slightly cooler red. I know typically Blood Angel is painted in almost orangey red, but I've tried this scheme a couple of times and I really enjoy the final result. I applied several coats to really build up the colour, and without that white we'd end up with something quite drab and just not fun to look at. For the shadows, I'll be using AK Wine Red. This is among my favourite reds of any range. It's incredibly rich and is my go-to dark red. I'm just going to aim this into all of the dark areas. A little overspray is fine as this will help blend the reds together. To get a similar effect without an airbrush, you could use Sanguine Red and Reliquary Red spray cans from the Colour Forge. Next, I'm going to paint the weapon casings yellow. I really love when weapons are painted a different colour to the rest of the armour. It looks great and also helps them read on the tabletop. I'm brush painting these with AK Golden Brown, although honestly, looking at it in the edit with the nice slight red gradient, I could have just done a layer of Imperial Fist contrast paint. I'll be shading and weathering the yellow much later on, but for now, a couple of coats of Golden Brown looks great. Now for the most boring step of any Space Marine, blacking everything out. Anything I'll be painting silver or black is getting a coat of AK Black. I find reds really tend to show through, so this step is invaluable. I'll be diverging from the official scheme here to paint the shoulder pads black. It's completely optional, but I find it really helps break up the red and add a little bit of interest to the miniature. Note that I have the shoulder pads separate here, just so I can't possibly get black anywhere I don't want it. The leather belt is getting that same black base coat. Then I mixed in a little AK basic skin tone and highlighted it with lots of little scratches, and then I did this one more time with a little bit more basic skin tone. I find for leather adding a skin tone to your base colour really helps create a wonderful highlight colour. I thought the leather was looking a little overworked, so I went in with some thinned black to bring it back down a little. Now I'm going to highlight the shoulder trim to match the red highlights from earlier. For this, I'm going to use Eshin Grey. I'm not going to attempt any blending here, it's just such a thin area that I think it's going to look fine without, and that will save us a little bit of time. I'll then highlight the edges on both sides of the shoulder trim with Mechanicus Standard Grey. I'm going to use those same two greys for the shoulder pads on the Aquila. I'm not picking out each individual feather here, instead I'm going to highlight the ends broadly with Eshin Grey, and then a slightly smaller highlight with Mechanicus Standard Grey. I'll be using a wash later to pick out the recesses, and again, this is a small step that will save us a bunch of time. Blood Angels use knee pad markings to note squad numbers. I'm going to stick to black for this one and apply a decal later, but if I were painting an army, I'd personally consider skipping this step, though I do like the end result on this mini. I'm starting with a very broad rough circle of Eshin Grey, then mixing some black into it and going over the edges to attempt a smooth blend. I did this a second time, adding a little bit more Eshin Grey into the mix. Then I'm going to start the edge highlights by edge highlighting the knee with Mechanicus Standard Grey. For the red, I'm going to be using AK Burn Orange, the best orange to edge highlight red with in my opinion. I'll be going over the whole mini, not fully covering every edge and adding a couple of scratches here and there. This is essentially a way to make all of the details stand out on the tabletop, as well as provide a small first layer of weathering. Next up, I'll be giving the whole mini a gloss varnish, using Vallejo polyurethane gloss, thinned about 1:1. This will prepare it for the enamels and decals I'll be applying shortly. Now I'm not going to go through the whole decal process in this video, but I'd recommend Microset and Microsol and just following the instructions on the bottles. Now I'll be using some Ammo by MIG Black Knight Panel Line Wash. Gotta say that 3 times fast. You don't need to thin this, and you don't need to be particularly precise with it. This will leave a couple of coats, but it dries in about half an hour, so it's barely an inconvenience. Once this is all dry, you'll probably need to do some cleanup. What I've done for this is dampened a makeup sponge with a little bit of odorless thinner, and I'm just going to wipe it over any black I don't want on the mini. Now I'm going to give the mini a second gloss varnish coat. You could skip this, but I find the additional coat really helps the decals look seamless. Then for our final finish, I'll be applying a coat of AK Ultra Matte Varnish, once again thinned about 1:1. This will dull the red down a little bit, but we started so bright that the end result is still going to be very vibrant.
It's at this point I realise I've completely forgotten to highlight the yellow, and while I still have the airbrush out, I give the chainsword and gun casings a coat of AK Volcanic Yellow on all sides. On the sword, I'm trying to create a mild gradient going from the end towards the handle, and on the gun it's more of a top-down highlight. Luckily, because of this pose, I didn't have a great deal of overspray aside from the hand holding the pistol, which I easily fixed by just rubbing a damp brush over it as soon as I'd applied the paint. Next up is the metallics, for which there isn't a great deal on the average Blood Angel, so I'll be using Vallejo Mecha Color Dark Steel. This is designed for the airbrush, but it brushes on normally quite nicely. I'd say this is a 1.5 coat metallic. It's pretty solid all around, but you need to do a couple of touch-ups on flat surfaces. And as usual, I forgot to paint the sword handle until now, so I've just painted the pommel with AK Bronze. This is one of my favourite gold paints, and I've used the same grades from earlier for the handle. Back to the enamel paints now, and I'm going to use the same black from earlier across all of the silver areas. I'm also going to use another wash from the same line, dark red brown, to recess shade all of the yellow across the miniature. And as with earlier, I'm going to dampen a makeup sponge with thinner and use it to clean up anywhere I'm not liking the look of. While doing cleanup, make sure you're very gentle with the sponge. If you press down hard, you might rub off some of the underlying layers of paint. The varnishes I've applied should protect it, but if you've ever rubbed off paint doing this, it's literally you scraping the paint off. The thinner shouldn't react with the acrylic paint at all, provided it's dry, and this whole step was dry after about 30 minutes. Now aside from the face, which I'll get to at the end, don't worry, I haven't forgotten, the mini's basically done. But now comes my favourite optional step, chipping. To provide some visual interest, I'm going to use AK Grim Brown, which is a very dark, fairly neutral to cool brown. This will contrast nicely with the red armour and the highlights I'll be applying to the chipping afterwards. Now, I've used a brush for this. You could use a sponge if you want, but just remember to rotate the sponge as you go, so you're not stamping a repeating pattern across the mini. I'm also going to use this quite a lot across the yellow elements. Weathered yellow looks fantastic in my opinion, and I was unsure at this stage if I was going to properly edge highlight the yellow, so I maybe overdid the chipping here, but I still think it looks great. For another optional step, I'm going to highlight the chips. For the red armour, I'm using burnt orange from earlier. Because we've matted down the previous layer of this though, the chipping is going to stand out a touch more, which will look like more recent damage. I also thought I'd go back to the decals and apply some chips using AK Carmine to suggest that the painted symbol is wearing off and it's revealing the armor color underneath. But without the white layer underneath this, it's a little subdued, though I still think it works. To highlight the yellow, I ended up using iced yellow, purely because I picked it up that day and I wanted to give it a go. I think it's a bit stark against the warmer yellow tones on the sword. Maybe next time I'd use volcanic yellow mixed with a touch of white, but I actually don't hate the end result I've got here. Now, I don't think I can do a Blood Angel and not have there be blood somewhere on the mini. My favourite blood paint is actually Blood Angel's Red Contrast, and all I'm going to do is dip a long bristled brush that I don't mind ruining into it, hold it in front of where I want the blood splatter to be, and then lightly spray air from the airbrush at it. Make sure to also go over all of the chainsword teeth with this as well, just to make sure the blood is coming from somewhere. Now for the final step of the mini, and probably what you've been waiting for, the face. This sculpt is actually a Grey Tide Studios piece. It's part of their Crimson Lords free sample you can get if you have a 3D printer. I'm going to take my time a little here. I enjoy painting faces, and it's not that hard once you do a lot of them. I'm starting with Vallejo Succubus skin. It's a lovely dark base tone to build off of, and I'll be mixing in some AK basic skin tone. This is a bright but not very saturated skin tone, and I want this guy to look a little frenzied, so I think it's a good match with the vampire vibes. I'm using a 1-to-1 mix here, and I'm just going to hit the raised areas, the brows, the cheeks, etc. Remember, this is our mid-tone. Everything else that we're not painting with this colour is going to be in shadow. Next up, I'm going to thin down some wine red from earlier, and I'm just going to wash this into his main facial features, things like the eyes, the mouth, and the nose. I started out a little thin with this, so I went back in with a couple more layers, particularly in the mouth. You want this quite red. Now for the eyes. Now I'm going to use an off-white, in this case AK Silver Grey, and I'm going to very carefully dot the eyes. Then once I've messed this up horribly, I'm going to take some Succubus skin once again, and I'm just going to rebase coat it, and I'm going to wash it again with wine red. Once you've got a decent looking eye shape, it's time to give him an iris or a pupil. I used Grim Brown from earlier here, but if you go for blue or even green eyes, a tiny dot of black for a pupil helps, but you really don't need to, do not stress yourself out over it. Finally for the skin, I'm going to mix even more basic skin tone into the Succubus skin. This is about a 2-to-1 ratio at this point, and I'm just going to pick out some highlights, keeping in mind the direction of the highlights on the rest of the mini. This sculpt has some lovely teeth and fangs sculpted. I'm going to use Silver Grey again to base coat all of the teeth. Then I'm going to use some wine red, not as a wash this time, just a regular amount of thinning, to cut in thin lines across the teeth to suggest gaps. Now for the hair, I started painting it using tan earth, but it ended up just looking like Guy Gardner from Superman rather than a century-old space vampire, so I rebase coated it using leather brown. Then I made a 1-to-1 mix of dark sand and leather brown and painted this across the top and front of his hair. Then I did this again in an even smaller area, about 2-to-1 mix with dark sand. Then I did a very quick, almost dry brush with basically a 3-to-1 mix of dark sand and leather brown, just to pick out some more of the sculpted detail. Speaking of sculpted detail, this head has a circlet with a gem on it. This was much too finicky to film properly. I got paint everywhere, fixed it, and then just did it off camera. For this, I used AK bronze, and then for the gem, I painted it black, dotted the top left corner and the bottom with white, and then I painted the bottom with AK Carmine. And with that, all that's left to do is stick him on an old ruins base I made a while back, and he's done. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial. I hope it was useful and ideally entertaining. I really enjoyed painting this project. Blood Angels are without a doubt my favorite chapter, except for when I feel like going on a crusade. Next week, I have something a little more heretical in mind, so please like and subscribe, share with your friends, and leave a comment if you have any questions, notes, or ideas for what you'd like to see me paint next. With that said, I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.